Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. Your leader in sports in the Inland Empire. The Riverside. Now, here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Oh, my goodness. It's a huge Friday of sports in the Inland Empire. Jeff's eyes are big, like, oh, my gosh, what's he going to say? Are you all right over there?
Hey, I was just thinking
caught you off guard. You're like, whoa.
No, I was just thinking,
on?
We've done this 5 days in a row.
Yes.
I was in Malibu. I was doing the show. Was that Tuesday?
Big blue wave head guy. You were hanging out with him doing the show on the beach.
It seems like that was a month ago, but it was literally it was. Wow, we've done this 5 days in a row.
Yeah, every single day, 3 to 6, right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show. We're happy that you have joined us all week long. And again, we were on Saturdays on this very station, but we moved. And now we got 3 hours every single day to talk about all things Inland Empire. And we want to hear from you guys, too. Before we start sinking our teeth into some of these big, juicy topics going around the IE, we're going to put out the hotline number.
Call, people, call.
And before I give out the number, again, we will be giving away some Luke Bryan tickets for Tuesday night in Los Angeles, but we're going to do that in the 4 o'clock hour. So next hour.
He's one of the greatest R&B singers ever.
Close.
He's not?
Very close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very... No, country music, Jeff.
Oh,
Luke Bryan. The Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan. So we're going to do that in the 4 o'clock hour. But right now, let's put out the hotline number in case you want to give us your hot sports take. Again, the big topic, as we're going to go through the Inland Sports headlines right now, is Cajon versus the Rancho Verde High School in the high school football state playoffs tonight in Moreno Valley. It's going down. If you're picking the Cowboys or if you're picking the Mustangs, we want to hear from you and why. What are you looking for from tonight in that Division II AA State Regional? The hotline number is 951-369-1350. Call in, let it ring. If we don't get to you, we'll try to make our way back around. 951-369-1350. We want to hear your take on the Cowboys and the Mustangs.
What do Cowboys ride? What are those things called?
Mustang?
Mustang!
Oh, Jeff, look at you.
First shot across the bow.
Look at you doing your homework.
Yeah, whoa.
All right, so again, Cajon versus the Rancho Verde is the big one tonight. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk a little UC Riverside basketball. Also join us in studio, the incomparable Jim Clover, local legend, the mastermind behind the Inland Empire All-Star Classic, which is coming up again in January.
We want that guy in studio?
Jim Clover, man.
You know, I was just thinking about this. Of all three of our guests, or all three of our four guests today, I have known for over 40 years. All three of them.
Does that just mean you're old, or what does that mean?
I don't know what that means, but I was just thinking about that driving in. I'm like, holy cow, I've known every one of these guys except for Coach Croy. I haven't known him for 40 years.
He's too young. That's why. He's too young.
He's not 40 years old.
So Jim Clover and then Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise.
Yeah, the scribe. You called him the scribe.
The scribe. He's a writer. Right?
Yeah, but he used to.
Well, what'd you call? I called him a scribe. You called him something much worse.
I called him the fossil. But, because he used to write on tablets. And then he went from tablets. Then he wrote, he started in cuneiform. Do you know what cuneiform is?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay,
I think you're making it up.
The cave paintings that they would...
Oh, hieroglyphics.
No. Cuneiform is before that even.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, that's how he started.
The cradle of life. And there was Jim Alexander talking about the battles in the villages.
And then he went to, the parchment and then the scrolls.
When was the stone and you chisel away the words into the stone?
Yes, that was his teen years.
That was his teen years. We love Jim Alexander. We really do. He's been working on some good stuff at the Press Enterprise. Is he going to the UCR basketball game? Is that what I heard? He's going to be out there in Highlander country?
Yeah, we had to get him on early. Did I tell you why? Because he wants to go to the substation. He goes, I really want to get on the show with you guys and talk about sports, but before the UCR game, I need to go to the substation.
So we're working around Jim Alexander's dinner schedule? Is that what's going on here?
It's a sandwich schedule, apparently.
He loves those sandwiches.
That's what he told me.
Right near the UCR campus.
Right across the street.
So we'll talk to Jim Alexander as well. As you mentioned it, Rick Croy, the head basketball coach at Cal Baptist University. CBU with a big one tomorrow night against Point Loma. It's also Star Wars night.
I can't wait.
The Saturday before The Last Jedi comes out. So appropriate timing. There it is.
Nice.
The Star Wars music. So it's going to be a big Star Wars night. They're going to be giving away Star Wars shirts. Hopefully people will be dressing up. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, we've got to convince. I have something for Cullen later on in the show. We'll have to tease that.
So we're going to have Rick Croy, and then also...
yeah, I'm salty about this one. Go ahead.
Are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
He's your boy.
Yeah, but he used to be my boy.
We'll find out if he still is or not.
Well, because he went to Poly.
Well, he is the head coach of the Riverside Poly boys basketball team. Local legend, Yancy Dodson. His team's off to a great start at the Kiwanis, Jeff.
No, he's the best coach in the area outside of my dad and Mark Guard. As I say, is Yancy Dodson.
He's number 3 on your list.
Number 3 on my
list. Will
list.
You tell him that when he calls in?
Hey, I think he'll be okay with that list.
Riverside Poly right now 3-0 at the Kiwanis. We'll talk more about that as he'll check in. 5 o'clock I think it is.
Yes.
Because we're going 3 hours. Remember, Jeff? We're here for 3 hours.
We are?
It's all brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Ken's Sporting Goods. More than 40 years right here in the IE. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass in Corona. And Catalano Motors in Corona by Trade Finance. Derek Catalano will hook it all the way up. And if you'd like to sponsor, hit us up. inlandsportshow@gmail.com. All right, once again, the hotline number. Who you got, Cajon or Rancho Verde? Maybe you want to talk about the Ball brothers. Are we still talking about that, Jeff? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm sure Alexander will come in and talk a little bit about it, but yeah, I'm over the whole Ball situation.
Yeah.
Except I do like the Lakers. So Lonzo, good job, buddy.
That's your boy.
That's my guy.
You don't have the shoes yet, do you? Because you usually wear your Ellen DeGeneres Nikes down there.
Yeah, I only go Ellen DeGeneres, and then.
Wait, do you have them on today? You had them on yesterday.
I had them on yesterday. We didn't even mention my Ellen shoes yesterday.
No, man, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
I almost went there, but we didn't, so you're lucky there.
No, I'm wearing dress shoes because I got to go to the UCR game after this.
UCR right after this. Yeah. Okay, so the hotline number one more time if you want to talk about the Mustangs and the Cowboys tonight. Maybe Aquinas on Saturday night. Some big games coming up. We got the Ball brothers, the Angels making moves. We're going to talk about that as well. The hotline number, once again, 951-369-1350. I saw the red light already bleeping around, so if the hotline blings, we're going to answer it. But right now, your Inland Sports headlines on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Of course, the big one tonight, Cajon and Rancho Verde, the Division II AA Southern California Championship. The winner will advance to Sacramento for that state title. So big one tonight. The other 2 local teams still alive for state championships. Of course, Aquinas playing on Saturday night at Moore Park College against Grace Brethren for the 2A title in Southern California. And Big Bear going up against Golden West in Visalia. NBA news, Kawhi Leonard, who was single-handedly discovered by Jeff Gorham over here.
Yes.
That's true, right?
Yeah, it's true. Well, I sent him to San Diego State. I mean,
that is a true story.
I don't know if I discovered him the first time and said, sign this guy.
You propelled him into his career because he went to San Diego State and ended up having a fantastic career with the Aztecs. And now look at him.
Yeah, and he hasn't sent me any gear. You know, he's a Jordan.
Jumpman, right?
Yeah,
Jumpman series.
You know, he gave Ramona basketball. He gave him all uniforms and shoes last year. But you know, I'm an ex-Ram.
You should have got some too.
Well, when you go in the gym, like I told you yesterday, it says "Go Rams" on the scoreboard. They just left out the H.
Go Hams.
There you go. That's what it's
Jeez. Well, how old were you when you in high school when you looked at there and said, "Hey, Go Rams" is almost Gorham's"?
Are you kidding me? I was a ball boy for Ramona.
You're like, this school's almost just for me.
It was. I always feel it is every time I walk in the gym. I still have a banner in the gym. I'm just not in the dang Hall of Fame.
No, we should ask Yancy about because Yancey's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Yancey's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
he was on my team. I was the leading scorer on that team. And I'm not even in the Hall of Fame.
Yancey Dodson's the Ramona Hall of Fame, but Jeff is not.
Well, you know he was all CAF tennis player. Did you know
all around athlete? Did you play anything else, Jeff? I mean,
I played baseball and I played tennis.
Make that happen.
I know. We need to put some pressure on the Ramona brass.
Yancey, I'm going to tell you right now, is the best tennis player I've seen. He and his father used to play doubles tournaments. They used to have a Riverside City championship. And he and his dad would play doubles. And I would go down anytime they had this tournament and watch every game. They were amazing.
We gotta ask him about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't coach tennis at Poly, right? It's just he's all basketball.
He's all basketball.
All basketball.
And he used to have, you know, he's got the Hawaiian look to him. You know, he used to have flowing, he had like James Brown, beautiful hair. And now he's bald like me. We both look
two bald guys.
Two bald guys. Two overweight bald guys.
You know what I'm going to ask him about? Because he kind of scares me a little bit. Because
he does?
He's smiley and so nice. But when he gets into a guy, like during a game, it's like another guy. And what's weird is I don't know how he picks his spots, but it's always that moment when the crowd goes quiet and you can hear every single word and a pin drop inside the gym. And that's when Yancy gets into his guys. I don't know how it is. It's like everyone just goes silent.
Well, the thing is, you know where he gets that from. I'm going to tell you, we're going to get into this. We can ask him. His mother.
His mother?
We used to call, no joke, you know what her nickname was?
Uh-oh. Do we want to go down this road?
It's a great one.
Is it okay?
I love his mother and his late father. Great people.
Okay.
Yellin' Helen.
Is that true?
Yeah, because you could be anywhere in the gym, and if you heard Helen's voice, you knew exactly.
Okay.
No joke.
You're asking that question.
Oh, no.
Yancy's your boy. I'm going to let you ask that one.
When I ask how his parents are doing, he always says, Yellen's doing great.
Does he really?
Yes,
Yellen?
Yellen Helen. No joke.
So, once again, Kawhi Leonard, he's had a quad injury. He has not played all season. He's missed 25 games with the San Antonio Spurs, but right now it's being reported that he will return to the San Antonio lineup tomorrow night against the Suns. So, the pride of King High School right here in Riverside looking to come back, and the Spurs have been playing pretty well without him. Not setting the world on fire or anything, but he's been playing pretty well, and now he's on the verge of coming back from a random quad injury.
Yeah, you know, we had talked a little bit. Tony Parker had the same injury, and I think NBA pundits or whomever was saying nobody's had this kind of quad injury in the NBA for years. I mean, unrecorded, and two guys from the same team have had the same injury, so they kind of equated it.
It is kind of peculiar.
Yeah, they equated it to maybe the way the training regimen that they have the same trainer, so maybe that's what happened. Because Tony Parker, the exact same thing.
In other inland sports headlines, speaking of Riverside Poly, we got the Riverside Kiwanis tournament going on right now. Riverside Poly has advanced to the semifinals. They will take on Great Oak tonight. In the other semifinal, it will be Notre Dame against Los Osos. So 4 very good teams, semifinals. The championship game will be Saturday night. So we'll talk to head coach Yancy Dodson of the Poly Bears about that. Other basketball news, UC Riverside on the floor tonight at SRC Arena taking on Air Force, trying to get back to their winning ways. Jeff, is tonight the night?
Tonight is the night. I will say this. Riverside has bigger size. The only thing that Air Force kind of concerns me is they run the Princeton offense, which means, they're going to run this motion offense. They're going to run beyond the three-point line. And what it does is it creates mismatches versus the big. So when they see a mismatch, they'll go backdoor. They have opportunities to score. They have a winning record. They're 6-5 or 6-4, I believe, on the year. They're a really, really solid team. They're not going to make mistakes. And Riverside, if they play their game like they did the second half of Pepperdine, they have a shot to beat these guys.
Final game as the Highlanders head into finals week next week, which is always fun. You get past finals, though, and you got a couple weeks of just basketball, just worrying about getting some wins on the court and not necessarily that classroom work. So big game tonight against Air Force, and then finals next week, and then back in action next Sunday on the road at Montana.
Yes, you'll be there, buddy.
That's my game. That's my game. That's where I live.
I get to go to Hawaii. I get to go to Michigan.
Montana. I mean, what's the...
I go to Cal, Michigan, Hawaii, and you go to Montana.
And I had Grand Canyon, which actually, in all honesty, was a pretty cool trip.
That probably was the best one.
It was pretty cool trip. And then, you know what? We didn't talk about this on the air, but when I went to Grand Canyon, remember I did a little live FaceTime with you inside of our hotel room?
Wait, the mansion.
It wasn't a hotel room. I told John Maxwell, who I roomed with, he's the associate athletic director and sports information guru. I was like, John, they didn't get us a hotel room. They bought us a house.
Yeah, it was a full-on, it was 2-story. You had a kitchen?
We had a whole kitchen. I had a little office next to my little bed area. We each had our own bathrooms. John Maxwell was up in the loft with his own bathroom. It was like a little condo. It was like a little house.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Did you have like a masseuse in there too?
No.
No?
Not that cool.
The hot rock? Massage, nothing like that.
No.
Did you have a phone next to the toilet?
Just the house. No.
Have you ever been in one of those have you ever been to a hotel that has a phone next to the toilet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, bidet.
No.
You didn't have a bidet?
No, I didn't get splashed.
I have one of those in my house.
Do you really?
No, but it sounds really cool.
You want one though?
Of course I do.
So, yeah, that was a fun trip. In our last Inland Sports headline, because, again, so many big national stories that have Inland Empire implications. The Angels making big news today, going out and signing Shohei Ohtani, the big Japanese baseball star who can not only pitch, but he's a big slugger as well. So he can do both things very, very well, and he wants to play every single day. And when we talk about this later in the show, Jeff, we're going to explain how this hits home for the IE with the Angels signing Ohtani out of Japan. It's pretty big.
Yes. And the good thing you can say about that is it might secure Mike Trout for the future.
You think so?
I think that's why that's a big selling point to Mike Trout as a free agent in 2 years.
Well, think about this. And again, I don't want to go too deep because we'll revisit this later on the Inland Sports Show. But if you had an outfield of Ohtani, Mike Trout, and Justin Upton,
it's pretty good.
That's a really good outfield.
And your first baseman?
Albert Pujols coming off a 100 RBI season.
And says he doesn't want to DH. He really wants to play on the field, so that shows you he's healthy.
So when he's not, he wants to pitch as well. So when he's not pitching, he wants to be out in the field, which sounds like Little League. You know what I mean? Like Little League always had like the best player, and when he wasn't pitching, he was like playing shortstop, or he was somewhere out on the field. He was also like the best hitter. That's like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
So they got to find room for him somewhere on the field. So we're going to talk about that and how this impacts some of our Inland Empire players on the Halos roster.
Oh,
we're going to bring it back home for you, Jeff.
I see the tease.
Back home for you, Jeff. When we come back, we're going to go second level. We're going to dig real deep on this Rancho Verde versus Cajon game, and a little bit later we'll talk more about the 33rd Annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic. El Clasico with the great Jim Clover, the mastermind behind this event for the last 33 years. It's scheduled for January 13th at Centennial High School. We will be right back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
The Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better. Introducing the award-winning Inland Sports Show with Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham. Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Your local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Fox Sports IE 1350. The IE has a new home for sports. The Dan Patrick Show, mornings at 6, followed by the fastest growing sports talk show in America. The Herd with Colin Cowherd at 9.
Kind of a big deal. People know me.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
My name is Dale Beatty. I'm a wounded veteran. Join me August 1st for the world's largest golf outing, presented by Billy Casper Golf. Help Fisher House Foundation build no-cost comfort homes for military families. Get details at fisherhouse.org/golf.
Now back to the Inland Sports Show. Here's Pep and Jeff.
And welcome back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez. That's Jeff Gorham. We appreciate you tuning in today. It's another big Friday across the Inland Empire. Lots of big games going on. Lots to talk about. And we're happy to be part of your day here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. The game that everyone is talking about and nearly shut down the internet. It's big on Twitter right now. It's the Rancho Verde hosting the Cajon Cowboys. How about them Cowboys as they play for the Southern California Regional Division II AA title?
Jaden Daniels.
What about him, Jeff?
8 touchdowns. He threw and ran and threw for like a mile and a half last game.
In that championship game, right?
Unbelievable.
Against Downey, that Division IV Southern Section championship game. Jaden Daniels played out of his mind. He had the game of his life. And listen, you're a big-time basketball player. Big-time players, they shine in the brightest moments, right? When the game is on the line, if it's a championship game, you need your star players to play like star players. It's easy to have big stats and all these crazy numbers and all these touchdowns and passing yards when you're blowing out teams like 60-0. But when you're playing for a championship game against a high-caliber team and you're putting up unreal stats, 8 touchdowns in one game, 4 through the air, 4 on the ground. That is a big-time player.
And 99 yards on off the line of scrimmage.
That's right.
Holy cow, that's breakaway speed, and that's your quarterback.
We had those video highlights. So Cajon had an interception against Downey, and it was on their own 1-yard line.
Yes.
So what does Jaden Daniels do? He popped off a long run, 99 yards back the other way. That kind of broke the back for Downey. And again, that final score was 45-28 in the CIF Southern Section Division IV championship game.
And put it this way, the young man is a junior. He has started over 30 games of high school football.
Seasoned.
That's crazy.
He's a veteran.
And he still has another year.
Yeah. And then on top of that, because Jaden Daniels leads the state of California in passing, he also has 59 touchdown passes. His top receivers, big 6'8" Darren Jones. He's just like you, but what, 150 pounds less?
Oh, he's 200 pounds less. Hey, but do you remember seeing him in the scrimmage when it was Apple Valley and Corona?
Yes.
And he was running around on the sidelines wearing a Burger King thing. I was calling him King Flip Flop.
Jeff, that's right. So our football season started on IEMG TV
in Death Valley.
We did the live broadcast from Death Valley, San Bernardino Valley College, and it was Cajon, it was Corona,
and Apple Valley.
And it was Apple Valley, and that was one of the things that you remember about the scrimmage was Darren Jones.
Yeah, because he was doing like pirouettes and stuff when he was catching touchdowns. He was doing like 360 plies and so forth. I'm like, who is that guy? And then he put on a Burger King hat and flip-flops and was dancing on the sidelines.
Didn't we ask someone where that crown came from, the Burger King crown? Because like all of a sudden he just pulled it out of a bag and he's walking around with a crown on.
Yeah, he was a silly guy.
He's also a great basketball player, so go home, get ready.
Yeah, Randy Murray, get ready for that guy.
So those are a couple of the star players for Cajon. They will have obviously a big impact tonight when they take on Rancho Verde High School. As for the Mustangs, if we're talking about Darren Jones for the Cowboys, the guys covering Darren Jones from Rancho Verde High School, it's either going to be Carlton Johnson or Jackson Turner. Now, what they give up to Darren Jones in height, they make up for in speed. I mean, both these guys were on the track and field team that won a state championship for the Rancho Verde High School, so these guys can fly.
And you also have there at safety, you have Manny Allen.
That's
Manny
right.
Allen is, I think, one of the best athletes in all of high school football in Southern California.
If you're looking for a matchup, if like a keys to the game, like if you're going to break it down, you might just want to look at the Cajon passing game against the Rancho Verde secondary.
Secondary is the best I saw this year. It's
going to be huge. I think the game could be dictated right there. How do you stop Jaden Daniels? How do you stop Darren Jones? And, of course, that's going to be huge as they take on the Mustangs. And also, I was out there at Rancho Verde High School as we got a phone blowing up in our studio.
Yeah.
I was at Rancho Verde High School earlier today, Jeff.
I saw you.
We were setting up for our big TV broadcast here after the Inland Sports Show, and I had a chance to run into the good doctor, Dr. Norm Diaz, the athletic director at Rancho Verde High School.
Another one of my friends.
Is that your boy, too?
He was at La Sierra.
Oh, that's right. He was at La Sierra. Yeah, I remember him at La
AD.
Sierra. So now he's the AD at Rancho Verde High School. I saw him. I popped by his office and said hello, and inside his office, he had all the trophies.
He did?
Yeah. He had.
Nice.
Of course, he had the big SoCal Regional Championship trophy. Then he had the runner-up. You don't want the runner-up, right? You want the other one. And then all the players get like the medallions, the medals. Very cool. So he pulled them out of the box. I got a first-hand look at the championship hardware that will go out tonight between the Cowboys and the Mustangs. But he brought out a great point that going to the state championship, which is awesome, and we touched on it, it's expensive as well.
Yes.
Because you got to buy championship rings. You got to make the long trip. I mean, there's a lot of things involved in terms of financially backing a trip to the state championship in Sacramento. I mean, it's pricey.
Yeah, it's like an NFL road game.
It's a lot of money, but again, that's something you don't mind opening the wallet for when you have an opportunity to win a CIF state championship. So it's Rancho Verde versus Cajon. That is tonight.
We got to mention Brock White. He almost threw for 500 in the air alone last game.
Yeah, we talked so much about Jaden Daniels, the quarterback for the Cajon Cowboys, but Brock White, the QB for Jeff Steinberg and the Mustangs.
And he's young.
He almost passed for more yards than St. Francis had in the game.
Yes.
They had almost 700 yards of total offense for the Mustangs. So I know we spent a lot of time talking about how great Cajon's offense is and how many points they score, and Jaden Daniels did this and Darren Jones did that. Rancho Verde, they could pile up the points in a hurry as well.
Yeah, like I say, he's a young kid. First year starting at quarterback, he's going to be something special.
Well, I don't think we're going out on a limb when we say this is going to be a high-scoring, wild game. If you're looking for a 14-12 battle, this might not be your game. I think we're going to hit the 40s easy. I would not be surprised to see the 50 mark hit by one of these teams in this game.
100 points combined.
And they both got great guys on defense. That's
really
crazy. They both have guys, studs, on the defensive side of the football. But in the end, who's going to make that one or two defensive stops? That'll be the difference in this one.
Scoring.
Hey, guess who's in the hallway?
I saw him. He was over my shoulder.
He is. He's looking right over your shoulder right now.
He's lurking over my shoulder.
It's the great Jim Clover, the mastermind behind. He's shaking his head. No, he really is. The 33rd Annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic. It's coming up January 13th at Centennial High School. We're going to talk about the IE Classic. We'll also talk more high school football, of course, getting you ready for that big Cajon versus Rancho Verde game. We'll even touch on the Aquinas Grace Brethren matchup. That's tomorrow night at Moore Park College. So a lot of high school football to get to. We'll also hoop it up later in the show with Yancy Dodson and Rick Croy, the head basketball coach of the Cal Baptist University Lancers. All that and more coming up on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
The Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
As I went through school, one giant question loomed over me. What did I want to be? First, I had to decide what I wanted to make. I wanted to make more, so I became a teacher. Now I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. It's off the air talking about movie etiquette. Because, see, before, I always go to the movies with my wife now, right? My wife and kids. But before, if I'd go out, to the movies with dudes, there's always like that one seat rule, right? You put a seat in between you. You don't want to sit like right next to your friend. Was that weird?
Nah, you're sitting right next to me, buddy. I'm gonna put my arm around you. We're gonna hold hands. We're gonna do something.
Jeff's like, in fact, I only bought one seat, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you better wear some cologne. Because if I get scared, I'm going to be snuggling with Pep Fernandez.
Stoke. Hey, we're excited to see Star Wars on Thursday, but we're also excited to talk about the 33rd Annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic. It's coming up next month, January 13th at Centennial High School. We got the Mastermind, because we were trying to figure out the title for Jim Clover. We'll call him Mastermind.
The guru.
The guru behind the IE All-Star Classic. Or old guy.
Well, when you say guru, that kind of implies old.
Okay, good. Thanks, Jeff. It kind of goes with the territory. We're excited to have Jim Clover here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. You can hear us weekdays from 3 to 6 now. And Jim, we're excited to have the Inland Empire All-Star Classic coming back. Last year it was a little different. We had Jim Walker, his final game, and we had the draft, and you introduced new uniforms to represent kind of the UCLA USC colors. So are we kind of riding on that momentum into a new season, a new game for the IE All-Star Classic?
Well, we've been through a couple of transitions. Remember, before that, we did the OC versus the
I remember
IE.
that one.
That's right. And we beat them bad.
We beat them
bad.
bad.
They didn't want to do it anymore.
We did it with 50 with a running clock.
Yeah.
So it was awful. And so I kind of figured tonight is going to be a warm-up for that game because we got San Bernardino and Riverside playing tonight.
Yeah. You know what?
So that's kind of a warm-up, kind of a precursor, because always before, Riverside has really not killed, but they've challenged San Bernardino. So this will be interesting because there's some players on both sides, and we want to get them all.
Yeah, well, hey, just go to Cajon and Aquinas.
Yeah,
You're going to have some guys right there.
Yeah, you have
we'll get a bus, pick them up.
You have Alabama. You got all these big schools after all these guys.
And we were talking about this yesterday, and we might have brought it up at the All-Star meeting we had, that it was Jeff Steinberg, the head coach of Rancho Verde, against Nick Rogers, the head coach at Cajon, 2 years ago in the IE All-Star Classic.
Right.
So who's going to win this time? Who's going to go to state?
Ooh, that could be bad. Somebody's going to be angry.
And Jim, you're going to the game, right?
Oh, yeah.
What sideline are you going to stand on?
Oh, I don't.
Well, normally I've seen you on a bike. Why don't you just ride around in circles?
I have a bike.
You just ride circles.
Yeah, I do. No, I kind of float around,
Mingle with the people, shake hands, kiss babies.
Kiss babies, that kind of stuff. Find out where the popcorn is, who's got the best concessions. And I can tell you that right off the get-go, too.
See, that's exactly what I do. Every gym I go to, I look for the concession stands. And I say, who has good ones, who has bad ones? And then I never want to go there again if they're bad.
I'm like, Jeff.
And who are the bad ones?
Who are the bad ones? Oh, yeah. Stay away from those, right?
Yeah.
We go to a basketball game for UC Riverside, and I'm like, Jeff, we got to get the internet connection. We got to interview Coach Cutts for the pregame.
Nope.
We got to make sure we've got enough power. And
nope.
Jeff, we got to get the audio mixer going. Jeff's like, I'll be right back. I'm going to the snack bar.
Yeah, that's
like, Jeff, we got so many important things to do, and he's finding
food. They have a food truck at UC Riverside. How can I turn down a food truck?
Did it really?
Yeah, and then
they do.
And then they had a
Centennial has all that stuff.
Yeah,
and so does Roosevelt.
Well, that's the number one team in the country. Yeah. UC Riverside though had wing eating contest. I wanted to do that before the game. They wouldn't let me do it because I was wearing a suit. But man, I'm telling you, it looked really good. It was fan, and he was the
IMC'd it.
He was the host.
The wing eating contest.
But the concession stands have changed over the years because Fontana used to be the best. The Lincoln. The Lions Club over there had a phenomenal hamburger, phenomenal. And I went there this year with Grand Terrace, and they had a softball snack bar.
Come on!
I didn't eat all day, and they had nothing.
And you're like, come on,
that is weak.
Yeah, it was awful. It was an awful experience.
Otter Pops. Hey, no one wants an Otter Pop.
Cheetos and Mike and Ike's. This is not going to work.
No, and it was. I was just waiting for that hamburger, and it was not there.
Dang it.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have some good food at Centennial High School on January 13th. It's the 33rd annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic. If it's at Centennial High School, naturally we had to get Matt Logan, right? He's going to coach the Riverside County All-Stars.
He's an amazing coach, and he'll get the kids to come in, which is good. These All-Star games have a lot to do with coaching because I can't remember what year it was, but we were at Corona, and at halftime they went in, they changed the offense completely, and they won. That was
not too long ago, wasn't it? Like maybe 5-6 years ago?
Yeah. Roosevelt?
Who was trying to remember who was the coach in that one.
Yeah, I know, but it was just amazing. It was one of those things because those kids, the thing the coaches pick up on is the kids pick up stuff really fast. It's not like they have to do, teach them anything. It's just that you do this, it's like back when you were drawing stuff on the ground, you go left, you go right, and then they got it and they own it.
Because you have such great athletes, right?
Yeah.
If you keep it simple, they're going to make plays for you.
Oh, they'll make anything. It's great.
And Jim Walker playing for the win, sent him out with a victory as he headed off into the horizon. Although he did return to coaching because he went to Pennsylvania near Robert Morris University where his son Jimmy was playing quarterback, and he coached. From what I understand, it was like a 7th grade, 8th grade, like junior high football team.
7-man or something, wasn't it?
No, it was like junior high football.
Yeah. Riding around on Winnebago.
That's a true story. That's true.
Yeah.
That's all true. But this year we got Matt Logan for the Riverside County All-Stars and Nick Matheny from Summit High School. Coach Matheny's one of those guys that everybody knows and loves. His neighbor's Kurt Bruick. He comes, from like that Dick Bruick coaching tree. I guess everybody really has in San Bernardino County one way or the other. He's got all those close ties to the Aquinas family over there where he coached. So he's really plugged in San Bernardino County. I know he's going to get a lot of great players, specifically Cajon and Aquinas. So
that's all you really need.
The big Germans.
Those two teams, right? Yeah. There's tons of D1 talent. In fact, what's kind of scary is both teams have some really good underclassmen as well. So
we can't get them to play.
That's true.
That's against the rules.
That's true. But maybe next year and the year after, San Bernardino County is going to be in pretty good hands for years to come as well. So
I think this game will be as good as we've had in a long time because we've had some blowups before. But I think because of all the kids that you're talking about, it's going to be phenomenal.
Well, when Steinberg beat Rogers head-to-head in the All-Star game, if you remember from Ramona High School, Brett Virgil from Heritage High School threw the game-winning touchdown with about 15 seconds left to beat Nick Rogers in the San Bernardino County All-Star. So Nick Rogers had Steinberg on the ropes, but they came back down and they scored in the last minute.
And that's why the game is so good because, guys like Pep who remember the game 5-6 years ago, 2 years ago, he remembers names, and those kids are always going to remember that moment. It's a great, great honor to be a part of this game.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you remember, Jim? You've seen a lot of all-star football games.
You've seen them all.
Well, the first one was probably the best because we didn't have any money, and we bought the T-shirts were 78 cents. And the first time you wore them, the neck fell out. The second time, the arms fell out. And so by the time we got there, they had the regular cut-off T-shirts. They were just automatic because they wore them.
Yeah,
not real high quality.
No. Bruce Campbell was the quarterback. Bruce Campbell is now the head of Discovery. And so
Discovery Channel, right? Yeah. Big
Get
time.
out of here.
Yeah, he's the big guy.
Oh.
And so that's huge. And so that's kind of fun because I still have a copy of that video and I sent it back to him. And he said, I was great then, so it was good. So that's what really springboarded him to what he is now, that game.
So many big names like Bruce have gone through this game. In fact, one of my first ones was at Corona High School. And I still remember this because someone asked me, all the great players in that game, who really stood out for you? And I'm like, well, San Bernardino County lost, but the guy who was really all over the place, like we were saying his name over and over and over, was Kenny Clark. And now look, he's on the Green Bay Packers. Like guys like that, they make a name for themselves. They play in the All-Star Classic, and now we see him in the NFL.
As a captain for the Green Bay Packers at times.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, I look at it from another perspective. Remember the twins from North that went on to play at Colorado? Well, they came in, and they were phenomenal. But the best part I liked it, they had their shoes spatted, but they brought sprinkles. They brought things to make them
put
shine.
glitter and
They
stuff
brought
on it?
glitter. That's the first time I ever saw glitter.
They blinged them.
They bling their spats. It was like, this is amazing. This is America.
See, that's cool, though.
This is what it's all about.
It's an all-star game.
Yeah, so it was like, are you really doing that? I said, yeah, it looks good. So I put some on my shoes, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just to fit in, right?
Yeah.
And what's also kind of wacky is you go to a practice or the actual game, and you're like, okay, I think that's Brett Virgil, but he's got a Paloma Valley sticker. He's the Heritage quarterback.
They
but he's,
all
and he's got, he's got a Paloma
Train
Valley and a
stickers.
Centennial sticker on his helmet. But I'm pretty sure that's Brett Virgil. So they love to get to know the other guys.
Oh, yeah.
They get stickers, the logos from the other schools. They put it on their helmets. It's really a fun week of just getting to know some guys that for about 10, 12, 14 weeks of the season, you're like, oh, man, that's my rival.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had some good speakers, too. We had Archie Griffin, the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner.
That's true.
He was a speaker. Rex Kern. He was another quarterback from the Ohio State University. So I had to throw that in there. You know.
Of the Ohio State? I have a gift. I brought a gift.
Well, I want to see it. You should have a gift. I know you went and saw the Michigan. You saw the Ohio State University kill Michigan.
I was right there, and I said
to myself,
myself,
"Did you have Scarlet and Gray on? I hope."
I didn't want to get punched, so I had to.
No, he's like, I can't wear the colors.
I'm telling you,
I want to make it out alive.
But here's what I brought you: my ticket that is unscathed, and I figured you could put this on your wall of since Ohio State beat Michigan.
This says Michigan on it.
Yeah, but
they got it bigger than Ohio State, and they don't have the here. It should say the Ohio State.
Yeah,
Let me put that in there for you.
Michigan printed it all wrong.
And we also had a Riverside guy score a touchdown.
Marcus Baugh for James.
Yeah. So here's the deal: when we get him in studio, I want him to sign a ticket.
We have another ticket. That one's yours.
That one's
yours.
yours.
Another one.
I have another one at home that I was going to save and have him sign it and get it to you. But this was just so you can do it. You can burn it later, do whatever you want. But this lets you know.
I have an idea.
Exactly. Ohio State won that game. I wanted to bring it back for you.
Well, thank you very much. I just don't know where to go from here.
There you go.
Well, I do because you brought us this as well.
I did.
So if you want to be on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE
gifts.
1350 AM, yes, bring us something. Bring us a gift, something free. And that's exactly what Jim Clover did because he knows we're Star Wars nerds. I mean, we nerd out real hard on this show. Yeah, so he got us, what are they, Jelly Bellies. I got BB-8 on mine. And
I got Chewbacca.
So when we go see Star Wars on Thursday, we got a little snack.
I'm saving them. We're gonna tweet that out.
Put that between your cheek and gum.
I will for sure.
Well, Jim, we appreciate it. Thank you for bringing us some snacks. But we're excited again about the 33rd annual IE All-Star Classic. So last year we adopted the UCLA colors against the USC colors. Is that coming back this year?
Those things. Yeah,
I like that
because the kids love it.
Yeah, it looks really good too. And plus, I spent a lot of money on those pants.
Yeah.
I mean, so
plus, you got to bring it back.
Yeah, so we're not changing it for a while. The last pants lasted 30 years, so we're okay.
Oh, you got your money's worth.
Yeah,
not like those first T-shirts you bought.
Oh, no. Those were brutal.
So I know we're going to have, was it Mark Christopher, what's his last name? The comedian.
Yeah, he's good.
Rodney Kyle's friend. That was so much fun at the banquet last year. He's a clean comedian. He had everyone rolling around. So again, it's a whole week of just fun stuff. Of course, you have the practices leading up to the actual All-Star game, but there's the banquet dinner as well, and, of course, the actual game. But it's a lot of fun for these guys to be around each other. Again, guys who might be rivals. I mean, they might just see him from afar and be like, I don't like that guy because he's our league rival, or, we lost to him 3 times, so I don't. But then they're on the same team.
And they don't like each other, but now they like each other. So it's kind of cool. But it's the way it's going to be when they go into college, too. So it's a nice step into.
It's a nice encore onto college life because some of these guys will sign with the same schools, or they might end up at RCC together or San Bernardino Valley College. I mean, that's a real possibility.
And for some of these guys, it's their last game ever.
Oh yeah.
So to going out, treating the families well, it's a great experience for any young man that's involved in this game. So very cool.
Did you play in All-Star games, Jeff?
I did.
For basketball?
I did, but they didn't have anything in Riverside until we started one 4 years ago. We were the first to do it. But no, I played in the CIF All-Star game they used to have every year.
Oh, I had an All-Star game for 2 years.
You did?
Yeah.
But I was too young.
Yeah, you were.
I was too young.
Wait, was he too young?
I might have been. But I ran rain cross, too, for 10 years.
He did run rain cross. See, I've known Jim since I was he used to be on Brockton, and the sport clinic used to be a tiny little place on Brockton. And I was 11 years old. And it was literally like 2 blocks from my house. So Saturday mornings, he and his partners would be over there, and I would just show up and hang out pretty much all day.
Is that true, Jim?
Oh yeah, he wore scars.
I did.
He still does because he can reach the top.
Yes, but no, I was Jim and I. He's one of my local heroes. He's been great to my family, to my dad, everybody. So anytime I see Jim, it's always it's an exciting part of any game I go to. If I see him, I get all excited, and he's a great guy.
Well, outside of Jeff Gorham over here, I think if you drop Jim Clover's name, everyone's like, I know Jim. Everybody knows Jim.
Yeah, he's a staple.
Yeah, of the IE, and he's also the mastermind, the guru.
You are?
Behind the IE All-Star Classic.
Oh, thank you. It's been a couple weekends.
So it's January 13th.
Yep.
It's at Centennial High School. Jim, the people out there listening or watching, what do they need to know about this game? How can they get tickets, more information, all that good stuff?
Well, you're going to be able to get the tickets at the door, but we're going to find some other places like preseason or pre-game to sell.
Pre-sale tickets, yeah.
That'll be on the internet. mysportclinic.org.
And you guys have given out scholarships as well.
We have given over $150,000 in scholarships. So every year we give a Riverside and a San Bernardino. We give a sports medicine now. It's named after Dr. Wall. And the Riverside one is named after the athlete from Arlington.
Tyler Llewellyn?
Tyler Llewellyn.
Yeah.
And then we also have one after Dr. Wall's mom and dad. So we have four different scholarships.
And those are presented at halftime, correct, of the actual IE All-Star Classic.
Yep.
So that'll be pretty cool. So we're excited about that. It's such a cool thing for the community. And again, Jeff, you made a great point. Some of these guys, this may be their last high school game.
Yeah.
One more time to put on the helmet, the pads, and some of these guys will go on to college and hit the books real hard. Some of these guys will sign college scholarships, but either way, it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to look like it's USC taking on UCLA out there. We're going to have Matt Logan. We're going to have Nick Matheny. It's going to be all the big names, and we love it. And Jim, hey, thanks for the BB-8.
Thanks for the Star Wars Jelly Bellies.
I'm curious. So you got BB-8 and Chewbacca. Did you consciously think like, okay, Chewbacca's for Jeff?
Yes, I did.
And Pep gets BB-8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Well, I'm bald. I'm bald. But
You're huge, Jeff.
But if I'm huge, but if I take off my shirt, I look a lot like Chewbacca.
Please no.
Okay, won't happen today.
Jim, Jim, we appreciate the time. Thank you for stopping by. And again, the 33rd annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic coming at you January 13th from Centennial High School. Make sure to follow Inland Sports on Twitter and Instagram because we will bring you the latest details on this staple of the IE. 33 years. That's amazing.
Isn't that weird?
It's a long time.
It's the longest lasting all-star football game in the state of California right now.
There it is. The longest running
crazy
high school football game in the state of California.
It is a big
time. There's a lot of football.
Yeah.
There's a lot of football in the state of California.
A lot of all-star games come and go. We just stick around.
You know, it was wacky. So real quick before we hit the break, we used to do a high school football all-star game in Northern California, but they played it in August before the next season.
Yeah, they used to do that quite a bit. Yeah.
Did you?
That's what it used to be.
Jim, was it hard to get the seniors who graduated to come back and play another all-star game? Like, I just find that difficult.
Yeah, plus it was hot.
Yeah, well, it's August.
Here.
Yeah, it's hot up there, hot down here.
Yeah, the rules changed. I remember that. It was.
Yeah, and then at that time you could only play in one All-Star game too.
That's right.
So now it's like I don't know how many you can play.
Yeah.
It's a big.
I just thought it was weird because these kids graduate, let's say in May or June, and then in August they're all back and they're all playing in a high school football all-star game like a week or two before the actual new season starts.
But the other thing is that's when they didn't start football at the college till August. Now these kids are leaving in January.
Yeah.
So I mean everything's different.
Everything is different except for the longest running high school football all-star game
Get her done.
in the States. And Jim Clover, the mastermind behind it. Jim, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Did you write
your show, man? Love your show.
Do you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's different every day.
3 to 6 weekdays right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We love Jim so much that we invited another Jim. Can you believe that? He's out in the hallway.
The scribe of Riverside.
Well, they got a building named after us at every high school.
They do.
Jim. Everyone has a Jim, right?
Some of them are him, some are his, and some are mine.
Yep.
The great Jim Clover. Up next, Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise. You're listening to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
The Inland Empire's home.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Sayonara, baby. Only AT&T gives you unlimited data and live television on any screen.
Requires eligible AT&T Unlimited plan. After 22 gigabytes of data usage, AT&T may slow speeds. Compatible device required and sold separately. Additional usage speed and other restrictions apply. See store for plan details.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need
the Debt Ninja. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you could be facing wage garnishments, levies, liens, property seizure, cancellation of business license, closure of business. The Debt Ninja fights your IRS debt. That's why you need the Debt Ninja. Call 800-481-3769. 800-481-3769. The Debt Ninja.
From the Cold Star Ice Studios, it's Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM, KUBE, Riverside. Now back to the Inland Sports Show. Here's Pep and Jeff.
No, I am your father. No, it's not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
It's true. It's all true. And it's also true that we have moved from Saturdays to weekdays 3 to 6 right here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Jeff and I have a big date coming up on Thursday.
Next Thursday.
To go see The Last Jedi. They're saying there is a bigger plot twist in the new Last Jedi. Bigger Then The Empire Strikes Back.
Then what we just heard?
Then Lord Vader being Luke's father.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm excited. And I'm going to have goosebumps right next to you, Pep, in the Riverside Plaza, 7 o'clock.
Well, we have Jim Alexander for the Press Enterprise here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Are you a Star Wars guy at all, Jim?
Not really. I saw the very first one. I am not really a Star Wars geek, but my daughter has that as her ringtone on her phone.
Okay.
We like her.
So I heard that, and I started thinking, wait a minute,
she must be getting excited about the new movie coming out.
Yeah, he's too busy. He's the scribe of Riverside, as we've called him.
He can't waste his time on silly Star Wars movies.
I'm like a pinball. I'm bouncing from here to there to the next place.
Where have you been in the last week?
Well, I've been a volleyball expert, I guess, the last week.
Oh, yeah, CBU, right, for the West Regional?
CBU for the West Regionals, and then San Bernardino, Cal State San Bernardino, and they lasted around.
You didn't go to Florida? They're going to follow them.
They did not send me to Florida, but we did get a stringer. So we did have coverage of that match yesterday.
You're also doing a lot of college stuff, including you're going to follow Jeff over to the SRC Arena, right? For UC Riverside basketball tonight?
Yeah, he gets to leave a little early, though, and get a sandwich.
See,
that's right. My buddy Richard Munio over at the substation, and that's a free plug, by the way. That is not paid advertisement. Just in case anybody's thinking conflict of interest, it's from the heart because I go over there, order a small number 11.
There he goes.
They're wonderful sandwiches. I know we're here for the sports fans in the Inland Empire, but we also work around Jim Alexander's dinner schedule as well. So
I'm going to go in and order.
Speaking of the above, I was listening, and you guys were talking about concession stands, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I figured I gotta give you my vote.
Okay.
RCC football, the pasta stand. Softball coach Michelle Dodona and her mom, who runs an Italian restaurant, they set up the pasta stand there at every home game. Pasta with chicken, pasta with meatballs, red sauce, white sauce, garlic. It's wonderful.
That sounds
best pasta in football right there.
That sounds delightful, delicious, and delectable.
So you go early. So all the RCC games you cover, you go early.
Absolutely. So I've given you my 2 culinary recommendations. So that's the extent of it.
We really should. We should really start taking gauge interest here and maybe have like a top 16, a tournament of the best.
Like local stadium or game food.
I really think we should. So maybe we have a couple right there.
Norco High School funnel cakes. I know those are always very popular. I think they even have like the pulled pork sandwiches, like the brisket sandwiches and stuff like that. So
there we go. We're gonna have
What's
to
the one at Centennial? Now, I remember going out there and their concession stand was really good, but
it was unique as well. I'm trying to remember what they had.
Hey, food trucks, all kinds of stuff. Darth Vader has a lot of stuff. Or I'm sorry, the Emperor has a lot of pull out there.
Yeah, he's the ultimate.
Yeah,
we might have to start calling him Snoke. Pretty soon. But
of course, I'm going out to CBU tomorrow night, so I will find out what their
let us know. Let us know.
Like. I know they have Chick-fil-A out there. And since they don't play on Sundays, the Chick-fil-A will be open. It's not like Atlanta.
That's right.
Where they put the Chick-fil-A in the stadium, but they forgot the NFL plays on Sundays, guys.
Oh, that's true.
Jim, what do you think of that new CBU arena? You've been out there.
I haven't been out there for a game yet. That'll be my first game tomorrow night. But just walking around it is unbelievably impressive. I mean, it's something that this city's never had, and they just did it right. I mean, they've got the ribbon board around it, and they've got space upstairs to expand their seating. I mean, put a couple of conference rooms or hospitality rooms up there, and the home locker rooms are unbelievable. I mean, if you're a recruit, what they've done, they've got kind of a recruit row. So you walk the kid in, and you go along the hallway to the coach's offices, and it's got their logo, and it's got inspirational sayings, and it's got photos and all that. And then you go in the locker rooms, and it's wood paneled, and you've got logos there, and you've got video rooms, and the trainer's room is expansive. I mean, they just did it right, and it's really going to be an advantage recruiting-wise.
And you have Rick Croy.
And you have Rick Croy.
And Rick Croy.
And I'm interested in this, and I'm probably going to do a story at some point because he went through the Division I struggle at UCR. When they initially went Division I, he was on John Macy's staff. And so he probably understands some of the pitfalls and some of the hurdles that you have to deal with The only thing is that they're going D1, and he's going to be in a better place because of facilities and because of resources.
The infrastructure's already in place.
The infrastructure is already in place.
We got Jim Alexander here from the Press Enterprise on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Actually, Rick Croy will be joining us in about 30 minutes. We're going to talk about that game against Point Loma. As Jim pointed out, Star Wars night at CBU. So
Absolutely.
That'll be a lot of fun.
I'm not going in costume.
Darn it.
That is too bad.
We could have been Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, Jeff has lots of costumes at home.
Yeah, you could be Obi-Wan. We could get some pictures. It'd be great.
No.
Press row, there's Jim, with the hood over his head, lightsaber on his waist, right?
Be
ready
awesome.
for a battle?
Showing some force.
Ready to
that'd be awesome.
battle?
I got my own force, baby. No need.
Speaking of force, we got Air Force. Like that? They're playing
nice segue.
Nice segue.
Okay, they're playing UC Riverside tonight, SRC Arena. You've covered the Highlanders a little bit. In fact, we saw you at LMU. We got there a little late. Of course, I was busy setting up, doing the technical stuff while Jeff went to the snack bar. So I wanted to say hello, but I was doing, getting my hands dirty, doing the dirty work.
Well, I was afraid I was going to get there late because I left Moreno Valley at 3 o'clock, and I got to campus around 6. So I didn't exactly get lost around on the way, but I made a wrong turn, so I had to kind of double back, and you get caught up.
It's a wacky campus to find
caught up in that West LA traffic. Yeah, and then you have to go all the way around to get to the parking lot you need to go to.
Well, we were on the bus, and we were winding around, and I was like, I honestly thought, where are we at? Like, I have no idea. I knew we were, like, close to LAX. I saw the planes going around, and I was like, but I've lost track. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm just going to step off the bus and be like, okay, we're here at LMU. But
And the thing is, it was crazy because I've been there before. I've covered games there before. Back to when the Lakers were practicing there before they built their own facility. I'd go to practices there, and you just park in the lot, and easy. This time, you got to go all the way around to get to that same parking lot, and it's like, why? Why are you making it difficult for people?
Don't make it difficult, especially for the media.
Yeah.
You want us out there. You want some good publicity.
Red carpet.
Make it easy.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
And a hospitality room.
Yes.
I'm for that, too.
Yes.
That's where Jeff likes to hang out. But speaking of UC Riverside basketball, Jim, how do we get the guys back on track? How do we get a Highlanders win tonight against Air Force?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen every game, but I've seen bits and pieces of some games, and it's kind of like, I don't know. They look sort of out of sync. I mean, there's the start of the second half against Pepperdine the other night. That was great. I mean, I'm thinking, where was that team? Where's that team
That's what
been?
Jeff said, the same thing.
It was the best 8 minutes of basketball I've seen any team play all year.
But then after that 8 minutes, they kind of hit a wall. And it's sort of like, okay, how do you extend that? How do you go farther? How do you
do 40 minutes
do that
or close to 40
game?
minutes? Yeah,
even 32. And I'm looking at their schedule and, take Michigan out of the equation because that was a guarantee game. That was a body bag game, as Gene Murphy used to say. But these are games that are winnable games. And it's like these are teams that are on your level. So you need to be winning some of these games. You need to be doing a better job. And I don't know if the talent isn't in sync. I mean, if he's still trying to work through lineup combinations or what. But it's like there's something missing there, and they need to figure it out.
Yeah, they've used 13 different players.
13
last
different players,
game, Jeff, to find something that works.
And certain guys have been hurt. You have young guys. Sometimes you have 3, 4 freshmen, redshirt freshmen on the floor together, and it's really kind of hard to get those guys in sync because it is such a big jump from high school to Division I. Even if you've redshirted, it's just a whole different dynamic. And I know Coach Cutts he's had to try different lineups. Last game he went with the Twin Tower lineup.
Yeah, he went big.
Yeah, and I think for him, nobody has really stepped up in practice to show, hey, I'm the scorer.
But guys are improving. Like Chance Murray, he's actually hitting some threes. They're starting to fall for him. Minnow Dykstra has been looking a lot better. So,
and I think maybe the other thing is that guys aren't. If you're playing a lot of combinations, guys aren't used to playing each other.
Yeah,
or playing with each other. I mean, and even if you use those combinations in practice, it takes time.
Yeah.
And especially in game competition where the speed ramps up a bit. I mean, it just and I'm sure that's part of what Dennis is thinking. That okay, I've got the non-conference schedule to kind of work some things out. Because let's face it, the important games don't start until after January.
Yeah, the Big
and
West.
in fact, the really important games aren't until March at Anaheim. Those are the games that count in the Big West because it's a one-bid league.
And we were there, we were there last year at the Pond, or the Honda Center, whatever they call it these days.
I call it the Pond.
The Ponda.
Yeah, but they still, it's anybody's shot, really. If you're playing well for 2 games, you're in.
Yeah. Win 3 games.
Yeah, 3.
And that's it.
And you just have to kind of build to that crescendo and get your guys to where they're playing their absolute best in that second weekend of March.
And the Big West right now is RPI is 10th. That's pretty good for the Big West.
It's very good for the Big West, and it's the Big West is hard to figure in non-conference because teams play such divergent schedules. You've got some teams. I haven't looked at Long Beach's schedule this year. I know last year was a death march.
Yeah, they're playing pretty good teams, but they're winning games. They beat Oregon State after losing to Oregon State 2 nights prior to that, so they're pretty good. You have Davis is a good. Irvine's always well coached.
Yeah,
and so it's a good conference. Now, what are your thoughts on the 2 teams that are coming into the Big West Conference?
Well, Bakersfield has really shown some mettle in its the past 3 years in the WAC. I mean, they've gone to the NCAA tournament twice, and they got to the semifinals of the NIT last year. So Rod Barnes is doing a heck of a job up there. As for UCSD, when they come in, that's going to be a Division I startup. So it's going to be similar to what Cal Baptist is going to deal with beginning next year. It's going to take them some time to ramp up and ramp up their recruiting from Division II players to Division I players, and figuring out what Division I is all about. That takes time.
We got Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Jim, before we let you go, give us a little sneak peek. What are you working on for the Press Enterprise? Can you divulge any top secret, highly confidential columns you're working on right now?
I'm doing UCR tonight. I'm doing Cal Baptist tomorrow night. I'm doing the Chargers in Washington Sunday, and beyond that, I have no.
That's a lot of work right there.
Usually, I plan it out a week or so in advance, but I'm not sure about next week. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be needed for a state football game.
That's
I don't
possible.
know if I'm going to be doing any
That's
rain.
very.
We know there's a whole lot of possibilities.
Rancho Verde or Cajon's going to be going. We know someone's going to be going to Sacramento.
Well, I don't think they're going to have me travel, but I mean, if Aquinas or Big Bear were to play down here, I don't know.
Aquinas will have to travel. Big Bear could host. That is a possibility.
I would hope that if Big Bear won, they would host, because look at the amount of traveling they've done already.
Exactly.
In just like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Santa Maria. Can you imagine from Big Bear, like coming down the mountain, all the way across, up the coast to Santa Maria, and then now going to Visalia to face Golden West? I mean, it's incredible.
I hope they're getting a per diem. I hope they're getting something per mile, because that's just ridiculous.
That's like traveling in the WAC conference.
Just about.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about that in the column this week. I mean, from Chicago,
Seattle
to
University,
Texas, right? To Seattle.
Utah Valley, aren't they in there?
Utah Valley, Grand Canyon.
The WAC is kind of wacky right now.
It is weird.
Yeah.
CBU's got a couple. They got a Hawaii trip. They got a Bay Area trip, but they're going to really have some travel next year, and none of it's to the islands. So.
All right, Jim, last question. Since you're covering the Chargers versus the Redskins on Sunday, will they win the West, the AFC West?
I've seen it before. That's all I'll say. I've seen it before. Was it 2008, I believe it was, when they were 4-8, and they ran the table and won the conference, or won the division because Denver imploded. And
that's kind of what we're seeing.
It's interesting. It's a 3-team race, and they finish against the Raiders in another one of those quasi-road games at StubHub Center.
So we see the Raiders are kind of muddling along. The Chiefs have fallen off a cliff, but the Chargers are trending up. And, of course, there's something to be said for being hot, right? Just going into the postseason hot, being the hot team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Of course, the other thing is the Chargers tend to disappoint their fans, however many they are.
They have fans?
At the worst possible moment.
Oh, they're out there.
Yeah.
They're
still out there somewhere.
No, and here's my theory. The people who are Charger fans are people who were Charger fans when they were in San Diego.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of San Diegans have just
turn their back, right?
They're hate watching. I mean, the TV ratings down there are still super for Chargers games.
They want to see them lose, though, right?
They want to see them lose.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are a certain number of people from down there who are still following the club, and then people from Riverside County, the few people from LA who were Charger fans before. But I don't think they have any new fans. I don't think they've built their fan base. I don't know if that's possible, given the fact that they're playing in a 25,000 seat stadium.
I want to see a Rams Chargers Super Bowl.
You're nuts.
And I want to see it in Minnesota.
Nuts. In Minnesota, I know.
That's where they're playing this year.
That's true.
The Vikings have a shot to go to the Super Bowl.
But here's a stat, and I'm sure Jim knows this, that the host city has never had its team play in the Super Bowl.
There's only 2 times it's been close, because the Rams played the Steelers in the Rose Bowl, and the 49ers played Miami at Stanford.
That's close. Not the home stadium, but close.
I don't think there's a third one. Those are the only 2 that I know of.
So if you're a Vikings fan, I'm sorry, you're already out of contention.
We do have to ask, since he is the scribe.
Yes.
I've been wanting to know this all week. You've been around the Inland Empire forever. I've known you for 40-plus years, reading your... Is this the first radio show in Riverside, daily radio show? We were trying to figure this out.
As far as I can think of it is. I can't think of another attempt to do...
You're a pioneer, Jeff.
I've never been called anything.
I've
been called,
trailblazer. A lot of things, but never pioneer.
Never.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, because we were trying to think. I don't remember ever being. I remember KPRO. I think it was back in the day. I think the Riverside station. But I don't remember any sports stuff. So
they might. You know what? I don't remember. They might have tried to do something for a little while, but I don't know if it
never
was
as good as this.
It wasn't in drive time. I know that.
We're drive time guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here. That's why we have to bring in big name guests, because they don't want to hear us. I mean, they want to hear Jim Alexander.
Well, who did you bring in? Because I'm not a big name guest.
Clover, Jim Alexander, and up next we've got the great Rick Croy talking about Star Wars night. Jim Alexander will be there. You heard it here first. He's going to be a Jedi, right? At the game.
I have garb. I'll drive it
Jeff
over.
Jeff has the costume.
I have a Jedi garb.
Not happening, boys.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Nice try, though.
Jim, we appreciate the time. Let's do this again real soon, man. We appreciate it.
I'm all for it.
All right, Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise. When we come back, how about those Luke Bryan tickets? If you're a country music fan, we've got a couple more tickets to give away. When we come back, we'll explain how you can win.
He's not a rapper?
No, country music, Jeff. We'll be right back.
Sorry.
It's the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Hey, we're trailblazers, pioneers.
Yeah!
According to Jeff and maybe Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise, the first weekday show in drive time in the Inland Empire.
History.
It's the one and only Inland Empire, home of the Inland Empire Sports, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM in history, Jeff.
History. Nobody has been here.
And we go far beyond just sports, right?
Oh yeah, we talk. You know, we're men of leisure.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, we've discussed politics. No, we don't go politics.
Country music, no politics.
No, because we don't know anything about politics.
We steer clear of that. But I do. Listen. I love country music. I do. That's my background. If you guys don't know me, I grew up in a small town, milking cows, listening to country music. I don't wear the hat and the boots and all that, but, man, I've been to a lot of country concerts.
See, and when you say milking cows, I don't think people really believe that you tell the people here. You had a job literally milking cows. As you say, milking cows, which I don't understand. Okay,
Milking.
Milking
cows.
That's like saying crayon instead of crayon. It drives me nuts. But tell me.
I'll tell you the story right after I get out the hotline number because we want to know if you want Luke Bryan tickets. We want you to name this song. Go ahead, crank it up, Greg.
I got smoke in my hair, my clothes thrown everywhere.
Jeff's Jam. If you know this Luke Bryan song, call the hotline 951-369-1350. You're going to go see Luke Bryan.
All my exes live in Texas.
No, that's the king, George Strait.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
Oh my gosh, you're going way back.
Crystal Gale. Is that Crystal Gale singing?
No.
Barbara Mandrell.
Hey,
I love Barbara Mandrell. We have somebody calling.
Did you hear the phone actually ring? It's like an old school phone line. But no, I used to milk cows on a dairy. So it was the summer before I started college, and I was milking cows on a dairy at 3 o'clock in the morning, just rocking out to country music, milking those cows, getting the milk for the people in Northern California. Everyone needs milk, right, Jeff? Ice cream and cheese. I was doing it for the people.
Do you have really soft hands is what I want to know. Did the cows, were the cows happy to see you because you have your hands are kind of soft and supple?
No, you know what? I got kicked really bad by a couple of those cows. I mean, like really bad, like caused a scar bad.
Do you remember the cow, the heifer?
It was number 87.
87?
87 would come through the chute, and it would always give eyes to me, and she hated me. And we used to have a device that looked like a wishbone, and you put it on the cow's hips. We called it the kicker, because you didn't want to be kicked. So I'd put the wishbone on its hips, and hoping she didn't kick me. But one of those times, man, she got loose, and she got me.
87.
She got me.
So do you hate wide receivers named the numbers 87?
87.
Do you get scared?
You know what? I always remember the number 87 for that simple fact. Right now, let's go to the hotline. I think we've got a winner here. Do you know this Luke Bryan song?
I don't hear anyone.
Yeah.
All right. What's the name of this song?
The name of the song is All My Friends.
Oh, my gosh. We got a big winner. Who is this?
This is Jared Craddock from Upland, California.
Jared, congratulations. You're going to go see Luke Bryan. This is coming up on Tuesday night. It's the iHeart Country album release party featuring Luke Bryan live at the iHeart Radio Theater in Los Angeles. Congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you so much.
Is Barbara Mandrell on the ticket? I want to. Is Barbara Mandrell on or Crystal Gale or Willie Nelson? That's all I want to know. Luke Bryan. He's a rapper though.
Oh, that is so incredible.
Jared, can you educate Jeff over here? I mean, Luke Bryan's a huge star.
Yes, absolutely. Huge star.
But see, I don't trust anybody with two first names. So Luke Bryan. I named my son Luke, but his name is Luke Bryan, for God's sake. Don't ever trust anybody with first.
You've got to be really good, really good if you can have two first names and be as popular and as great an artist as he is.
That's an excellent point. That's a very good point.
I love Luke Bryan.
Hey, Jared, congratulations, and enjoy the big concert on Tuesday with Luke Bryan.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it, and I love listening in to your show.
Hey! All right. Thank you, Jared. We appreciate it as well.
All right.
All right. Have yourself a great week and enjoy that country music coming up on Tuesday. So, Jared, our big winner, got 2 tickets to the big iHeart event coming up on Tuesday in Los Angeles featuring Luke Bryan.
And Chet Atkins!
We might even blow out more tickets, but when we come back later in the show, we might blow out more tickets. But when we come back right now, it's Cal Baptist University head basketball coach Rick Croy. We'll talk Star Wars nights. Star Wars night, we'll talk Lancers. We're going to hoop it up.
I would run through a wall for Rick Croy.
That makes 2 of us.
Yes, I love that guy.
We'll be right back on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
Don't think for a minute that I'm gonna sit around.
The Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better. Introducing the award-winning Inland Sports Show with Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Your local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Fox Sports IE 1350.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Code Santa. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
This is Edward James Olmos. Did you know that today 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic? That means many of the future doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net. Brought to you by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Hey! George Strait, man, the king. All my exes live in Texas.
I said that earlier.
Yeah. Jeff's like, where's the Shania Twain? No, we don't have Shania. We got George Strait, though. No Shania Twain.
No way, man. Merle Haggard.
The Hag.
Merle Haggard? Roy Orbison? Yeah, those kind of guys. That's my guys.
All right, more country music in a little bit. But right now, we're going to go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline as we go inside the Lancers Brought to you by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. It's the head coach of your men's basketball team, Rick Croy. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Pep. Thanks for having me on.
Man, we always love talking to you. I don't know if you heard before the commercial break, but Jeff Gorham said something that I feel the same way. I echo the same thing. When we hear you,
telling you.
Yeah, when we hear you speak, especially those inspirational talks you give to high school kids, like Jeff and I feel like we could just run through a wall for you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if anybody's ever heard Coach Croy talk, he makes you laugh. He makes you cry. He makes you inspired. And I'm telling you, any recruit out there, go play for this guy. He's my favorite guy in the world because he's got a really good haircut.
Well, he's got hair. You don't have hair, Jeff. That's half the problem.
And he's fit. He can still play. And everybody I know says the same thing. Great individual.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. You got Point Loma coming up, men's and women's doubleheader. Inside the event center. What's it been like playing in that brand new arena on campus so far? And man, it looked spectacular. That Midnight Madness was unbelievable. But what's it been like playing your home games on that floor?
You know, it's been surreal because most of our guys watch the building go up. So to be playing in it, it truly has been surreal. But it's been very exciting for our guys, and just from the first event, from Midnight Madness, and opening night against the Mingus Hills was sold out, and it's really been a great place to play.
Well, you're off to another strong start this season, and of course, this is your final year in the Pac West Conference, and this is kind of the staple question we ask all the CBU coaches when they pass through the Inland Sports Show, is just the final year as a full Division II member in the Pac West Conference, and obviously you want to go out with a bang. I mean, are you guys talking conference championship? Is it too far down the road to talk about the NCAA tournament and a national title? I mean, what's kind of the goals as you guys usher out this D2 era?
Well, right now we're talking our locker room. Our talk's about getting better. We've got a great senior group, 6 seniors, and our talk is about honoring those guys and also enjoying it. I think basketball is a long season, much longer than football, and you have to remind each other. And it takes mature guys to enjoy every step of the journey, the good, the bad, when it gets tough, when things are great. And we feel like we've got a group that knows how to do that. And that's really what we're focusing on right now, and enjoying this opportunity to compete for a Pac West championship and get back to the tournament. We know all those things are down the road if we handle our business right now.
Coach, how excited are you about the recruiting in the next couple of years? Because Riverside, the whole Riverside area is a hotbed of great athletes that seem to always leave the area, but now there's such a great mecca of basketball right there in that beautiful arena. I mean, the recruiting, is it looking up for you? Are you excited about going out on the road and trying to get guys?
Yeah, we are. It's the event center's helped a lot. I think the big thing for us is continuing to get guys that really, really want to be here. That's how we've built the program. Guys that understand our program, that have great character, and are coming here on the right terms. And we always start from there, and then we try and get the best players that we possibly can. But we're off to a good start with our 2 early signs. We've got a post player out of Australia named Glenn Morrison. And then we got a guard out of Canada, Miguel Tomlin. We think both those guys can be good players early in their careers. And then we've got a few guys sitting out this year, but just continuing to produce great senior leadership each year.
Well, we got Coach Rick Croy here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. You certainly lost a good one in Michael Smith, one of the great scorers out of CBU. Didn't Michael sign with a club in Europe? He's playing professional somewhere, isn't he, Coach?
Yep, he's playing in Kreilsheim, Germany. Had 16-6 last game. Their team's in first place, and he's really playing for a great organization. They got a great fan base, so we're incredibly proud of him. Was actually texting with him today. He's checking in on our guys, and it's playing professional basketball is a little bit of a lonely journey. So he's very locked into what our team's doing and follows us online, and he's with us every step of the way. As all of our guys that have played in our program, that's that's the thing we tell them when we recruit them is we want this to be home, we want this to be family, and we're really, really proud of the guys that have moved on, and they love following our current guys.
That's pretty cool. Even though he's in Germany, he still keeps in touch. He's still part of that Lancer family, like you said, and you're keeping tabs. I mean, you knew his stats right off the top of your head.
Yeah, no, we're watching him every step of the way, and we're proud of him, but then we're also proud of our guys that are doing great things, whether it be teaching or coaching or in the business world. I think we really try and focus each season on our seniors, and then honor those guys on the way out, and we love following those guys as they shape their lives as men.
Well, as Michael Smith now playing professional basketball, who were some of the guys on this year's squad? I know there's some big names on your roster for sure, but who are some of the guys that you're leaning on to maybe get some of those points that Michael Smith would pour in from last season?
Yeah, we're a little bit more spread out with our scoring this year. Khalid Diop is an all West Region returning player. He's having a great year for us. And then you go down the line, Gabe Taylor at the 4 spot can really score and rebound. Jason Todd went from the 4 to the 3 spot. Then we brought in Corey Lang from BYU Hawaii. He's a great scorer, can really heat it up from outside. And then Jordan Heading's playing the point for us since Marquise Mosley went down with a knee injury, and Heading can really score at the point guard position too. So I think the fun thing about this team is they don't care who scores, and they realize they're playing with a target on their back, and they love it.
Coach, big game tomorrow. Do you know why it's a big game? Because it's Star Wars night at the big arena.
Yep, Star Wars night indeed. I was an original Star Wars guy, Return of the Jedi. I had Ewok Village, Jabba the Hutt. So
Coach!
I'm in tune with Star Wars.
Are you going to dress? Hey, I'll give you $100. You dress up like a Jedi tomorrow while you coach.
I can't accept it. NCAA violation.
Okay.
So otherwise I would.
It'll be $100 to a charity of your choice. You dress up like Jedi Rick Croy.
Oh, man. I don't know about that, but show up, and we'll check it.
Sweet.
But, Coach, you were a Star Wars fan growing up. I mean, when you dropped Ewok Village and Jabba the Hutt, I mean, you kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't sure if you were a Star Wars fan, but clearly you know something about the movies.
Yeah, no, I was in on the first 3. They lost me on Jar Jar Binks.
They lost a lot of people on Jar Jar.
Yeah, from that point moving forward, I checked out. But I've tried to get my kids to watch the first. Well, I guess it's not really technically the first 3, but the oldest 3 movies.
4 through 6.
And I've been unsuccessful, and they're not very into it. But I love Star Wars and love the story. A couple great competitors, Skywalker, Han Solo. I mean, those guys know how to compete.
Now, are you a dark side or a light side, Coach?
What's that?
Are you from the dark side or the light side?
Nah, we're light side.
Okay. Pep's a dark side guy.
Because I'm wearing black.
No,
I kind of like Darth Vader, but Darth Vader was,
He's a Sith Lord.
Yeah, I like Darth Vader, but he turned good at the end.
That's
at the
true.
very end, he turned good. Yeah. But, CBU does a lot of cool things to get those crazies fired up inside that new event center. So I know, Coach, a lot of guys hopefully will be dressed up as Star Wars characters for that big game against Point Loma. Do you guys feed off that when the fans are into it? And hopefully they'll be in costume as well and get that place loud?
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate everybody coming out. We're trying to build just a great tradition, a great college basketball environment, and make it to where every single night it's a special home floor to play on.
Like Grand Canyon. Pep was at Grand Canyon last week, and he says it was the craziest basketball game he's ever been to.
It was nuts.
Yeah, they built that thing, efficiently, and they have probably one of the best home floors in the country now, and we're definitely trying to emulate what they've done, but do it our own way. Here in Southern California, in the Empire, and do it with community, do it with students, do it with alumni. We want everyone to be involved.
Well, they have Thunder Dan. We have Rick Croy.
It's even better. We got Rick Croy.
Yep, a little younger.
and still shoot the three. Hey, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM as we go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. It's the great Rick Croy. Again, Star Wars night. Tomorrow night, Cal Baptist. It's a women's-men's doubleheader, and hopefully we'll get a couple Lancer victories in that one. So, again, Coach, we always appreciate the time. You're one of our favorites, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Pep. Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, thank you, Coach Croy. All right, you heard it. He's a Star Wars fan. Jar Jar Binks kind of turned him off a little bit, but maybe, how about this? Think about this, Jeff. What if we could get Matt Logan and Rick Croy and the two of us to all go to the movies together?
That would be cool. You can sit with the evil one. I can sit with, I like Luke Skywalker. I named my son after Luke, for gosh sakes. I almost had my wife convinced. Remember, it was almost Luke Han. I said
almost.
I said it was a family name, but she didn't know anything about Star Wars. So then one day she decided to watch Star Wars, and she said, "What's the name of that guy?" And I said, Han Solo. And she goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Luke."
So she gave me Luke.
She was on to you, Jeff. She knew exactly what you were doing.
I was trying. I almost had Luke Han Gorham. Would have been the best thing ever.
Luke Han Gorham. But yeah, so Matt Logan and I guess would be like the Darth Vader guys.
Yeah.
And you and Coach Croy, the light side guys, I guess, with Luke Skywalker, right? So
Luke is in this one. I can't wait. Luke.
But seriously, Matt Logan and Rick Croy and the two of us going to the movies, that'd be so much fun.
It'd be awesome.
Oh, man, we could do a whole 3-hour show on that one.
It'd be hero worship right there.
All right, when we come back, we've got more high school football talk because we had to still break down this Cajon Rancho Verde game. We're pulling away the layers like a big onion, right?
That's a good one, too.
Oh, my gosh. It's so many great aspects, storylines in this game against featuring the Mustangs and the Cowboys. And also, we want to talk to the great Yancy Dodson, head basketball coach at Riverside Poly.
Okay, one thing I will say about Yancy Dodson.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a Ramona Ram.
Yeah.
Horns up.
Yeah.
But he goes over to Poly, right? He goes to Poly the first time. I'm like,
you can't do that, right?
You can't go to Poly.
Can't cross the freeway.
Okay, so then he leaves Poly to go to Glendora. So I like Yancy again. Then he comes back to Poly High School, and I hate him again. And then he leaves Poly to go over to Rancho Verde. So I'm thinking, yeah, he's done with the Bears. And then what happens? Like Billy Martin, the guy comes back for a third tour of duty here.
He's back.
Man,
he can't get away from the Bears.
Well, I can't like him for very long. He keeps coming back to Poly.
When we come back, we'll take maybe a couple more of your phone calls as well. Plus, Yancy Dodson talking Riverside Poly basketball. We will be right back here on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
The Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better. Introducing the award-winning Inland Sports Show with Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Your local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Fox Sports IE 1350.
Just in time for the big day.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
CPAs and the Ad Council. From the Cold Star Ice Studios, it's Fox Sports IE 1350 AM, KUBE, Riverside.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
And welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM as we're heading into our final hour, getting ready for a big night of sports in the IE. Of course, we got Cajon versus Rancho Verde high school football. The winner will advance to the state championship game in Division II AA. And UC Riverside on the court against Air Force tonight.
Yeah, Air Force, they're going to fly in and drop their players off.
It's also Military Appreciation Night, and we kind of joked around that on Military Appreciation Night.
Oh, yeah, they're going to swear in soldiers.
Yeah, an enlistment ceremony.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's special coins that they'll be giving away that has all the branches of the military. They'll be giving those away to the guys being sworn in, the guys and gals being sworn in. Special coins. And also, what was it was the wallet giveaway. Remember that wacky wallet thing?
The wacky wallet thing that it hooks to your phone, and it's just weird. It's the goofiest thing ever. But if you go tonight, you can either get a gold one or a blue one.
It was kind of like one of those remember those slap bracelets? Like you slap it on your wrist and it wraps around your wrist real fast. It was somewhere between a wallet and that, and it sticks on the back of your cell phone.
I'm not going to put that anywhere.
So I'm married with kids, so I don't have any money. But if you had money, that's where it would go. It'd go in this little wallet thing that sticks on your cell phone. And they're giving those away tonight.
I'm going to get a handful.
So you already got one, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm going to sell them on the black market. No, what is the dark web? Because they don't really have a black market anymore. So now it's the dark web.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what I just learned about Bitcoin.
Oh, that's right. You did. Greg over here educated us.
That's really dark. That's a dark thing.
That's a bad choice.
Don't ever do Bitcoin.
All right, so we got Yancy Dodson, head basketball coach at Riverside Poly High School, coming up in just a couple minutes to talk about the Riverside Kiwanis tournament. We're down to the semifinals, Jeff, and we got 4 good ones. Riverside Poly will take on Great Oak, and also Notre Dame against Los Osos. So when did Poly plays at what time? Like 7:30?
Yeah, they're playing at home. They're going to get the marquee matchup.
Oh, the last game of the night.
Yeah, the last one of the night. Probably 7:30, 8 o'clock, I would imagine.
And then our guy, Pep, right?
Oh, Cole Pepper.
The other Pep. Yeah, remember? Oh, you're on Pep.
I'm like,
he's right here.
Did you just go third person?
Oh, man.
Pep Burnett. There's old Pep. Okay, third person. Okay, Ricky Henderson.
Leon Culpepper. Riverside legend.
The voice.
It's always funny when we're in the same place at the same time. He's like, "Hey, Pep," and I'm like, "What's up, Pep?"
The voice of Riverside basketball, Leon Culpepper.
The Riverside Poly Bears, Tobin Coon.
Your Riverside Community College Tigers. I'm Leon Culpepper.
He is like the official public address announcer for Riverside Sports. He was calling the game last night when I was out there at Riverside Poly High School for the Kiwanis.
He also called the Inland Sports All-Star Game last year.
Oh, that's right, he
Leon
did.
Culpepper.
That's right. He's got a fantastic voice. Very distinct. You know what I mean? Like when you hear his voice, you're like, that's Pep.
I want to listen to him in the bedroom. When I want to hear him talking, I want to hear Leon Culpepper saying, "Jeff, you go to sleep right now." I mean, I would.
Good night,
I go
Jeff.
right.
He's better than Barry White.
He is better than Barry White. He's better than Luther. He's better than them all.
He's better than them all, and he's calling the game tonight for Riverside Poly.
Leon
But right now,
Culpepper.
let's go to the Ken Sporting Goods Celebrity Hotline. And he's got a big game tonight as they will take on Great Oak, Riverside Poly against Great Oak. It's Bears head coach Yancy Dodson. Coach, how are you today?
Living the dream, guys. Living the dream.
I knew you were.
You know, Yancy, you got a great voice on the radio. You sound like we were just talking about Leon Culpepper. He's got the greatest. Your voice up, man. You sound really good.
I appreciate that. First time caller, long time listener.
On the 405, Yancy Dodson.
Well, Coach, your Bears are off to a 3-0 start. You've reached the semifinals of the Riverside Kiwanis. You've got Great Oak tonight. What have you liked about your Riverside Poly squad through the first 3 games of the season?
You know, the chemistry amongst the guys is, towards the top of the list of teams that I've coached, and this is me having coached high school basketball for 28 seasons. Our strength is definitely in our chemistry and our love for one another and our desire to make each other better and playing for the name on the front of the jersey and all the other stereotypical things that you could say as it relates to togetherness and unity. And it takes place off the floor and carries over onto the floor for us, and that has been our strength through our first 3 games. Hopefully it'll continue to be the thing that takes us to playing to our potential, which is what we try to do every game and every year.
Yes, as a coach, I coached forever too. I wasn't as successful as you, but I will say this: when I saw Tobin Coon hit that the game or the record tying 3, and the entire team kind of jumped on his back while he got fouled. And just watching a video, it really gave me goosebumps thinking, man, that's really a team that really like each other. They're happy for their teammate who just tied a record, got a 3-point play. It was exemplified exactly what you just said.
Absolutely. And yes, you have guys with incredible skill levels and playing incredibly well on the court. When you're talking about Tobin and his ability to shoot and all the things that, a Lamont Butler at the point guard position or Lavelle Johnson at the post position and all the other roles that the various guys play, that they literally enjoy when they perform their own role themselves, and the other guys are happy when those guys are performing their role and excelling the way that they have. And, Tobin hitting 11 threes was just an incredible night, an incredible moment. Having coached here at Poly, I started coaching here in 1990, and I've been on the bench. I was on the bench as a coach for the last 4 times the 3-point record has been broken. I was an assistant coach in 1993 when Mike Harriger set the record with 8 threes in a playoff game against Cajon. I was the head coach in 2005 when Josh Lopez broke that record and hit 9 threes in a game against our alma mater, Jeff, against Ramona.
Nah, it shouldn't count.
And then last year when that record was broken with 10 threes by DJ Davis, and now a couple of games ago with Tobin breaking that record and hitting 11. So I've seen some incredible performances that one obviously was, the best, having hit 11. But that moment when he hit that, the record tire, and it happened to be right in front of me. Anyone who has seen me coach basketball games knows where I stand at the end of the bench, and he happened to hit it right there in the corner and got fouled, and the bench, mugged him, and it was just a great moment for him, and fortunate that it was caught both on video and in the form of a still picture, and it was just a great moment. It was one of those things, that's a lifelong memory that Tobin and those guys and myself will never forget.
And the way that Tobin Kuhn shoots, who knows, that record could fall again this season. I mean, he's a great shooter.
Yes, he is.
He's better than his dad.
Again,
because his dad listens to this show, right? So quick little shot there. We got Yancy Dodson, the head coach of the Riverside Poly Bears, here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Well, Coach, we've talked about Tobin, and he had a great interview just the other day here on the show. But how about Lamont and Butler? And seriously, because I follow you guys on social media, I cannot keep up with all the offers this kid's getting. I mean, there's a lot of big-time college programs that are showing interest in offering Lamont Butler.
Yes. He, made a name for himself on the AAU circuit this past spring and summer. He came, and I have to remind myself that he is only a sophomore. He's literally 3 games into his sophomore season of high school. And, he's a true sophomore. He's not, a holdback or a double holdback. And you just see his development. He came in as an incoming freshman last year and started. And, we're relying on him to do a lot more things on the court this year, and he has stepped up to the challenge. And, the name that he made for himself on the AAU circuit in the spring and the summer got a lot of attention from college coaches. I think he has 6 or 7 offers. He has UC Riverside and Cal State Fullerton, Montana, Pepperdine, UC Santa Barbara, and got his first Pac-12 offer from Washington a couple of weeks ago. Well-deserved offers. The guy just works his tail off. Even above and beyond and outside of the 2 hours that we practice a day, he's just an absolute gym rat. And as great of a basketball player that he is, he's an even better student. With a 4.5 GPA, straight A's in honors classes, and even above and beyond that, a better person than that. He's just the total package. And to see his development from last year to this year, I'm excited to see what the next 2.5 years holds for that kid. He's got a bright, bright future.
Well, you guys picked up a nice win last night against the Pacific Pirates to move on to the semifinals. You'll take on Great Oak tonight. I had a chance to check out the first half of that game last night, Jeff, and I always love to see the Bears in action, and I like to see him. Jeff appreciates this too. I like to see him scoring some points.
Yes.
Instead of like the 30-28 game.
Yeah, don't ever go back to that ever again, Yancy. We've been talking about that all week. I like the scoring.
All right. Yes, we're trying to get up and down the floor. We have a point guard who can make it happen in transition. He's surrounded by shooters. We like the post player that we have, and if we can rebound the basketball, we're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, don't listen to Showalter. He's a defensive guy. Just let him play. Let him coach defense.
And he is great at that. Again, he and I are very familiar with one another, and just funny how things have come full circle. When I left here in 2007. The second time, I went to directly to Rancho Verde and was Travis's assistant for 5 years. And here we are in 2017, and he has come over to Poly to be my assistant. Just we have that conversation all the time about just how things have come full circle. We've worked really well together. We won a lot of basketball games, playing our respective roles. Him playing doing the defense, and myself doing offense and games. And we won a ring together, and a whole lot of basketball games, and hopefully that success can continue to carry on here at Poly.
We got Yancy Dodson, the head coach of the Riverside Poly Bears, here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. I had a chance to, again, see them last night against the Pacific Pirates. And, Coach, you're such an easygoing guy. You're always smiling. You're having a good time. You love the game. You love the school. You love your team. But in the game, you're pretty intense. And I was asking Jeff over here if he knew where that intensity came from.
Oh, I know where it
Yancy
came from.
Dodson.
You know where it came from. Where did it come from, Yancy?
Tony Macy.
No. Family?
Mike Leduc? Who are we talking about?
No. Your family member. We always discuss her. One of my favorite ladies that used to sit up in the bleachers.
Yeah. Are you talking about Yelling Helen?
You got it. Yeah. We talked about your mom earlier today. I said, yeah, he's, Pep's like, yeah, he yells. He yells at when it's really quiet in the gym. You can hear Yancy, and I went, well, yeah, that's because his mom used to yell from the bleachers. You could pick out that voice anywhere. And I said, man, she was the best cheerleader for us when we were at Ramona.
Oh, she was unbelievable, and yes, Jeff Gorham and Justin Gorham, the Gorham family, dubbed her Yellin' Helen because even if the stands were packed, you could always hear my mom yelling for me and the team, and she was just a huge supporter of anything that I or my sisters did, and a little known fact that I played, tennis both in high school and college, and if we had a match, she would be right there on the sides with her chair. And she enjoyed the basketball games more because she could yell, whereas the tennis matches she couldn't, but she was still there to support. But yes, when it was Ramona Ram basketball time, she would be up in the stands yelling for our team and against the other team. And yeah, I'm sure the apple didn't fall very far when it comes to me coaching on the sidelines and letting the guys know their instructions or whether I'm pleased or not so pleased with something they may have done on the court.
Yeah, and I also wanted to you mentioned the tennis, and we talked about this as well. Your late father Bailey was a great tennis player, and you guys used to play tennis together. And I remember going down to RCC and watching you guys play all the time because I was always, I played a little bit of tennis, but I was always a big fan of you and your dad and the camaraderie you guys had as father-son. And I remember seeing Yellin' Helen up there watching you guys. But I know it's been a tough year for you, but I being a friend of yours and being a friend of your father and your mom, I know he's looking down upon you and so proud of you. I'm proud of you just because you're my friend, and I dubbed you the third best coach in Riverside behind my dad and Mark Guard. So
that sounds about right.
I always want you to do great, Yancy, and growing up with you since we were little kids. I look at your scores, even though you're at Poly, and I'm so proud of you. So good job.
I appreciate that, Jeff. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, you and I go way back, and yeah, I appreciate those sentiments, man. Really do.
Hey, Coach Dodson, before we let you go, one more thing. You're in the Ramona High School Hall of Fame, aren't you?
Yes.
I am, yes.
Do you know is Jeff in the Hall of Fame?
He is not!
Do you know if he is?
I am not!
He is not. He is not quite yet, but his day is coming. His day is coming.
Hey, before we let you go, tell us about the tournament. I want to know who's been playing great. What's tomorrow? What time is the finals? The third place? All those things.
The semifinals are tonight. The 5:30 game is Riverside Notre Dame against Rancho Cucamonga Los Osos High School. And then the other semi is a 7 o'clock game, Great Oak versus the host Poly Bears. Any one of those four teams on any given night could win any particular matchup against the other three. And so we'll see what happens tonight. The third place game will be tomorrow at 5:30 with the championship game tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So, on any given night, any of those, four teams could beat each other. We'll see what happens here, in about 20 minutes when Notre Dame and Los Osos play, and then we're up at 7 o'clock against Great Oak. And I think Great Oak, the combined records of the four teams in the semis are something close to 16 or 17-1. Notre Dame hasn't lost. We haven't lost. Los Osos hasn't lost, and they're sitting at 8-0. Great Oak played last week, and I think they lost their first game in a crossover game with Orange Lutheran, which is who is no slouch. But since then, they've won 8 in a row, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of good basketball, a lot of good coaching. If you're close to Poly High School, come on out. There's still time.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Congrats on the great start. Best of luck in the semifinals, and we'll see if you're in the championship game of the Kiwanis tomorrow night.
Go Bears!
Well, God knows we're going to need the luck that you just gave. Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Yancy, go Rams! Horns up!
Exactly. I wear my light blue shirt under my orange and green polo.
Good, you better.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate it. Yancy Dodson, head basketball coach at Riverside Poly High School. When we come back, We're going to throw out that hotline again. We want to hear from the fans. High school football tonight, tomorrow night. Who you got? Aquinas, Rancho Verde, Cajon, Big Bear. If you want to talk about it, we want to hear about it. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I've heard people say that
the Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better. Introducing the award-winning Inland Sports Show with Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Your local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Fox Sports IE 1350. Dan Patrick.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
LifeAtValues.com. Now back to the Inland Sports Show. Here's Pep and Jeff.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We are here every single day of your life, 3 to 6 p.m., talking IE sports. Right now, we'll take some phone calls if you guys want to talk about the high school football state playoff games, maybe the Angels' new acquisition, Riverside Poly basketball. We're just going to open this up. It's going to be a free-for-all. 951-369-1350. Once again, 951-369-1350 is the phone number. Go ahead and put it in speed dial and hit us up.
Yeah, can you, I just want to touch, this is our first week, right? We've done this is our 5th day. We're like seasoned veterans now.
We are.
But look at, I mean.
You are. You're a pioneer. You're a trailblazer.
Yeah, I was told that today, and I feel like such. What about these guests we've had this week? I was just thinking just in the last minute here, we've had some pretty good guests. All Riverside guys.
It's kind of been a blur, hasn't it? This first week of 3 to 6 weekdays. I mean we've had so many big names through here. We were breaking news. I mean, it's been crazy.
We've had the Aquinas head coach. We've had the Rancho Verde head coach.
Cajon head coach.
We've had Dennis Cutts from UC Riverside.
Rick Croy.
Rick Croy was tonight. I mean, every day.
Frank Corral. Greg Bell, 2 Rams legends.
Yeah, it's just been a great week of local sports here in Riverside, and we're going to continue to do this every day, you said?
Every single day of your life.
Yeah, I don't know if I can keep up with this, man. This is a lot. This is crazy.
Keep the coffee going.
I'm telling you, but it's been so much fun, Pep.
It has, man. We love this.
And, you've done this for 3.5 years, and it's really nice that the Inland Sports Show is here every day, and you've done a great job of building this brand.
Well, there's been so many great teams, and I've said this before, and I know I'm not reinventing the wheel here when I say this, but there's so many great teams and athletes and schools and coaches in this area that to do something like this in this area, like, I don't know, someone else could have came in here and did this, the same thing, but this area is just ripe with talent and so many great storylines that we're just honored to be able to really shine a light on a lot of these, like, again, programs and the coaches and the big wins and the drama building for league titles and CIF titles. When I came down here to the Inland Empire, it was unbelievable how many professional athletes come from out of this area. In fact, this is a true story. When I first came down to the Inland Empire, one of my first stops was Centennial High School. And I remember going to Centen and meeting Matt Logan, and I was standing on the football field, and I thought, this is Centennial. Like, this is the Centennial High School that everyone knows about, the high school football program, the state championships, all the big names that have gone through here. Like, even when I did not live in Southern California, I knew about Centennial. And it was one of those moments, it was impressive. Like, it was the Centennial. So there's so many great stories like that around the IE. And again, we're just fortunate, we're blessed, we're honored to shine a light, give you guys a voice, and talk about these great Inland Empire sports.
Yeah, I'm going to give you one more compliment, and you'll never get any more from me ever again, Pep. But I will say this. I coached basketball for 20-plus years here locally, college to high school. I've coached several different sports. Pep Fernandez, you have been to more high school events everywhere we go. You've been to water polo, you've been to golf, you've been to volleyball, basketball, football, and baseball. And it's nice that somebody has found this niche for you here at the Inland Sports Show. And I think it's just well-deserved. You're not going to be out at many of the games right now because we're here 3 to 6.
We're here in the studio, yeah.
But you have really, really gone above and beyond for the area of Riverside County, San Bernardino County. And as your friend, as your partner now, I think there's nobody better to lead this show.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate those kind words because I really did not have a future milking cows.
You did. I heard it. You had soft hands.
It's hard work, man. I have so much admiration for farmers, specifically dairy farmers. That is such hard work. There's no days off.
None.
I mean, you think the cows come in on Christmas and say, oh, it's Christmas Day. Don't worry about us. We don't need to be milked.
They need to be milked.
They need to be. Hey, the people need their cheese.
They do.
And their milkshakes.
They need their
milk
eggs.
and the yogurt.
Oh, wait, eggs don't come from chickens. They come from chickens. But no, and you know what? I had no future in coaching basketball. So look,
sure you did.
It was a match made in heaven.
Well, we're happy to be here every single day, 3 to 6 p.m., talking Inland Empire sports. When we come back, we'll touch on those high school football state playoff games one more time. Also, a quick take on the Angels. Remember, we were talking about off the top of the show, Shohei Ohtani signing with the Angels, or at least agreeing to a contract with the Angels. We don't know if he's actually signed the contract. That'll probably come in the next couple days. But we have a quick take on that and how that relates right back to the Inland Empire.
Oh, that's right.
You won't hear this anywhere else. But right here, on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
The Inland Empire's home for all things IE just got even better. Introducing the award-winning Inland Sports Show with Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and two-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire, thanks to our big-name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Jeff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez. Honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and two-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire. Thanks to our big name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Jeff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez. Honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire.
More saving, more doing. Valid through February 3rd, 2018. U.S. only while supplies last.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
And we're back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM, talking all IE sports. I'm Pep Fernandez. That's Jeff Gorham. We're here every single day, 3 to 6, for the 951 and for the 909, Jeff.
And I don't know any other area codes. I haven't left the area ever.
760, right? That's like deep in the high desert.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
For all the folks in the high desert at the Burroughs. No, we appreciate you tuning in. We're brought to you by Spoiled, quick quality oil change, Kin Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. Of course, the big football game tonight, the Rancho Verde hosting Cajon. We have broken this game down every single way. The quarterbacks, the amount of points that we're expecting tonight, it should be high scoring. If we had a defensive struggle, I would be surprised. There's no way.
And no one wants to watch that. They want to see these two guys going. It's
going to be a track meet. Literally, it's going to be a track meet.
This is a heavyweight track meet.
Yeah. So I walked in, again, I was at Rancho Verde High School earlier today. I've already been there. I'm going back out right after this show. But I was there this morning as we were setting up for our live pregame and postgame shows on IEMG TV, and I had a chance to see the athletic director, Dr. Norm Diaz, the good doctor, right?
He is a doctor, that's right.
And he made a good point. Think about this for Rancho Verde. They won a basketball CIF Southern Section Championship.
They did.
Then they won a track and field CIF Southern Section title and a state championship.
That is right.
Now they won a football championship. So I know the city as a whole, we've been calling San Bernardino the city of champions. But the good doctor, Dr. Diaz, was making a case for the ranch at the Rancho Verde High School to get a lot of champions on campus.
School of champions. What's wrong with their baseball team? Come on, man.
Hey, I was standing there with the soccer coach.
What's wrong with those guys?
My boy, Stevie Football, Steve Brockman.
Oh, that's right. I like Steve Brockman.
You know Steve Brockman. I looked at Stevie Football and I looked at him. I'm like, yeah, where is that soccer championship? And he's like, hey, whoa. He's like, they did get real close one year, a couple years back. Yeah.
In the 80s. Oh, it has been.
No, it's just a couple. It was probably like 2-3 years ago. They got really close, but they had a good program out there at the Rancho Verde High School. But again, Mustangs Cowboys tonight. The winner will advance to Sacramento for that Division II AA state championship. It should be high scoring. So many big time players in this game. And again, if you had to ask me where this game will be won, I think it's going to be those defensive backs covering Darren Jones. Can they mark him up? They're super fast. They were on that state championship team. In fact, Jackson Turner also plays on the basketball team.
That's right.
So our boy, Coach Baker out there at the Rancho Verde High School, the boys basketball coach, he's probably thinking, man,
can these
Jackson
guys
Turner
hurry up and finish this season? I need you. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. So they're trying to make that transition from football to basketball, but the Mustangs going deep into December here with this state championship run, but they have to get past Cajon tonight. As for the Cowboys, they had a girls basketball team win state, what was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah, they were beating teams by 100.
They were good.
They were.
Cajon girls
they were
basketball
literally
team.
beating teams by 100 points.
And their star player, Kayla Washington, she's actually at Washington State now, and her father, Leon, is the head girls coach. So he was an assistant when Kayla was on that state championship team. And then Mark Lehman, who was at Cajon High School for 31 years. He coached the boys team for 15 years.
Yes.
Do you remember Coach Lehman?
I do.
Yeah, I figured you did. And then he coached the girls, everybody. And then the girls team for 16 years. Then he retired, and Leon Washington, Kayla's father, stepped in. And his son Deshaun's actually one of the star players on the boys Cajon team.
For Randy Merman.
That's your boy, right? Randy Murray, man.
Merman. Merman was a poly guy.
Was he a Riverside Poly guy?
He was a water polo guy. Yeah, he was okay. I mean, basketball.
Is he a goalkeeper? I mean, he's a big, tall guy.
I don't know. We used to just make fun of him because he was in the pool wearing really small shorts. That's why.
Just messing with him.
Yeah, just man. Look at Merman over there with his small little Speedos, big, tall guy walking on the pool deck.
I've got a funny story with Randy Murray. I'll save that for another day.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll save it for another day because it involves Jeff as well.
Yes, it does.
Okay, real quick. So the Angels picked up that big signee, Shohei Ohtani, out of Japan. He's a guy who can pitch very well. He's also a big-time slugger.
Babe Ruth.
Could be.
Could be.
He's going to be really good. He agreed to a contract with the Halos. He's going to sign. And how this affects the Inland Empire? Well, the Angels have 3 guys on their pitching staff from the Inland Empire. Jesse Chavez from Miller High School. Ricky Nolasco, who's the Vato from Rialto.
Oh, yeah, the Vato.
Yeah, Rialto High School. And Brooks Pounders, Riverside Poly, Temecula Valley. So these 3 guys are also on the pitching staff. How will that affect their spots on the roster? Bringing another guy who could pitch. I don't know if he's going to be a starting pitcher, but he's probably going to be in the lineup every day, whether in the field or on the mound.
Yeah, and Brooks Pounders, he's tough. Just have him fight for a spot.
Big dude.
They need to fight for a spot. Brooks Pounders, that's one of my guys.
Brooks Pounders, the Vato from Rialto, Ricky Nolasco, and Jesse Chavez.
Well, that's cool. Maybe they can all. Maybe it could be the 4-man rotation right there.
Maybe it could be, Jeff.
I called it.
Maybe it could be. There's some other guys in the rotation, but the Angels certainly need help with that starting pitching. And Ohtani, we'll see where they play him. I think he's going to be a pitcher first and a field position player second, but we'll see because they probably want to have his bat in the lineup as well. All right, we're getting closer to that Rancho Verde Cajon football game. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Mustangs and the Cowboys battling for a trip to the state championship and a little more UC Riverside basketball as Jeff is heading out to the SRC Arena for Military Appreciation Night against Air Force. We'll be right back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports 1350 AM.